Welcome to John's Corner, where our star reporter Jonathan always lands on his feet. He's a hard-hitting reporter who isn't afraid to throw a punch or to take one. He's always investigating the issues that others shy away from, uncovering even the biggest of scandals, while learning every secret he can. Here on John's Corner.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to John's Corner. So we got a bunch of Marvel news. Dropped at Comic-Con and stuff like that. The most pressing of which is Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, as is the Russo brothers. Now, normally I'm excited about everything, and I'm extremely excited the Russo brothers are back. I think that is awesome. I think they did a great job in the Captain America movies. Infinity War and Endgame were next level. So I'm definitely excited to see what they do now that they're back, and to see what happens with the next two Avenger movies. But surprisingly, I'm not as excited as I would have thought. For starters, I understand all the Jonathan Majors controversy. You know, not even going to get into that. But I do think it was a mistake to get rid of Kang the Conqueror. If you don't want to have Jonathan Majors in it because of everything that happened, I get it. I understand. Makes perfect sense to me. But recast. You've recast other characters. Harrison Ford is playing a recasted character in the new Captain America movie. Terrence Howard was recast. Like, you've done it. Ed Norton was recast. You've done it before. So if you don't want Jonathan Majors in the new movie, recast him with somebody else. But you've spent all of this time and energy building up a Kang storyline that you're just gonna sideline and throw away? That doesn't make any sense. It's idiotic. It's stupid planning. Why have you been building towards this if you're not gonna pay it off? And how are you gonna write that storyline off? It just seems like a waste of time, a waste of structure. So now Loki's irrelevant. Ant-Man is irrelevant. It seems short-sighted to me. You finish the Kang the Conqueror storyline. Even if you have to recast them, then you recast them. It's not a big deal. It's better than completely replacing him. And replacing him with Doctor Doom, one of, if not the greatest comic book villains in the history of comic books, and you're gonna, tell his whole story in one movie? Doctor Doom deserves more of a build-up. He deserves a legacy to go along with it. You don't just throw him into one movie and be like, here's the Doctor Doom movie. It's idiotic. And what, is he going to have no connection to the Fantastic Four? What are we doing here? Why is this the route you're going? I know so many people have been like, Marvel's lost their way, Marvel this, Marvel that. I'm not that guy. I've always been like, no, Marvel's sticking with it. Everything Marvel's doing has been pretty great. I've loved, with the exception, honestly, of Secret Invasion, which I found was kind of weak, I've loved everything. I've loved 90% of She-Hulk. The meta stuff didn't really feel as earned as it could have been, and I thought, so I mean, the ending didn't really jive with me as much as I would have hoped. But I loved the rest of the show. I want a season 2. Miss Marvel, I think, is one of the greatest Marvel products put out. I loved the Marvels. I loved Ant-Man 3. I've not really had a miss, like, as far as I'm concerned, Marvel hasn't really had a misstep. Thor 4 was kind of weak, and then Secret Invasion was painful. And if they go with what the director wanted, where War Machine was captured right after, Civil War, I will never watch another Marvel movie again. That is the stupidest idea ever, because then you just completely erase all of the heroics he did when he was one of the few heroes left on Earth during the snap. You erase his goodbye with Tony Stark. Like, are you stupid? Do you not care about the characters? Do you not watch anything other than what you make? Why is that your idea? Like, if you can sit down and explain why you think that makes sense and why you think that's what's best for the character, not what's best for your story, not what you think would be an interesting got you moment, but why would it be best for the character to erase all of the heroic things his character has done just so you can go, got you? Makes no sense. It's idiotic and it's kind of selfish. It's this notion that you see in large franchises as they get bigger and bigger, where people are like, the personal story that I'm telling is more important than the whole. Kind of the issue I had with Last Jedi, but you know, we'll bookmark that. I don't see how you have episode 8 in a 9-point saga be about how legacy's not important and destiny's not real, when the other 8 movies in that 9-movie saga is all about the importance of destiny and how legacy is everything. It doesn't make sense. Your movie cannot be about the opposite of what the overarching story is. But whatever. Whatever. I'm sorry, sidetracked. It irks me. Ironically enough, I love the cantina scene in Last Jedi, and everyone hates it. And I'm like, why? It's the best scene in the movie. It's fun. It's exciting. That scene, more than anything else in that movie, feels like it belongs in a Star Wars movie. A lot more so than the scene where they horribly just destroy Luke Skywalker for no reason other than, hey, let's destroy Luke Skywalker. This isn't supposed to be about Star Wars. I apologize. Moving back. Then there's the Robert Downey Jr. of it all. I love Robert Downey Jr. He killed it as Iron Man. I like him in pretty much everything he does. But I do not want Doctor Doom to be an Iron Man variant. I understand there's precedent for it in the comics. That's cool. I don't want it. I want Victor Von Doom. I don't want this to be a alternate version of Tony Stark that goes evil and becomes Doctor Doom. That's not what I want. I also don't want a bunch of people comparing Doctor Doom to Tony Stark, which is all you're going to get with this casting. I think it's a misstep. I think it's a, hey, look, we got him back. Isn't that cool? And in the moment, it's like, yeah, that's cool. But when you really think about it, I don't think it's going to work. I'm not excited about it. This is the first Avengers movie that I'm not excited for. I don't see how you do it without ruining Doctor Doom. And this is not a critique on Tony Stark, on Robert Downey Jr.'s acting. I think he could definitely pull off Doctor Doom. I just think he's so tied with Tony Stark, especially in this universe, that even if you do it in a way that's genius, a lot of people are never going to get over that hump. And you could have just as easily cast another actor in his stead. And I will point out that the one thing that all of the Fantastic Four movies have in common, and I love Charmed, and Cole's my favorite character in Charmed, but they keep fucking up Doctor Doom. Why are you going to continue the trend of fucking up Doctor Doom? Unless you do the completely unthinkable, and you keep Robert Downey Jr.'s face covered the entire movie. If you do that, and he really is playing Doctor Doom, and he has no connection to Tony Stark, I'm on board. But I want Doctor Doom. Or, alternatively, you do the storyline of Tony Stark gone bad, alternate universe, becomes Doctor Doom, and he's causing problem for the Avengers. And you play that movie, and at the end of the movie, he gets killed not by the Avengers, but by the real Doctor Doom. And then you set up a whole thing with Doctor Doom being the next phase big bad. I could get on board with that. It's kind of like what you guys did with The Mandalorian when you kind of butcher that in Iron Man 3 and then you made it right later on. If you did that, cool. I think that could work. But Doctor Doom needs to be his own character. He needs to stand on his own 2 feet. Because there are very few characters in, not just Marvel, but in all of comicdom, who are as cool and frankly badass as Doctor Doom is. Don't take that away from him. But this has been my very long rant. Very negative one. Normally I try to be very positive, so apologize for all the negativity. It very much frustrates me. I don't think this is the route they should go. But whatever. I'm Jonathan. Give us legends.